I know I'm just a few minutes early. Well, actually it's 8 o'clock now. But I decided I wanted to go on early because it takes so long for me to find the comments and I don't like making you wait for me. So it's not exactly 8 o'clock. So by the time you guys join on the live, hopefully I'll have found what I need to find. So it's just too bad that we can't get all of this set up before we go live. That way we'd have our comments right there when we need it. Right there. Got it. Mute you. And here we go. Okay, so if you are there, just say hi. It is 8 o'clock, so I am ready. Hi, Sophie. Yay, I'm so happy. Okay, let's get started and we'll say hi to everybody. Hi, Lynn. So make sure that if you are joining me, say hi. That way you get a chance to have your name in the draw. And then another chance when you share the video. So that increases your chances of getting your name picked and winning the card we make the week before. So these were the cards that we made last week. And I don't know if you remember, but it was part of the Global Design Project. And I featured my card on their challenge, I guess, page, on their page. And I got a special mention. I didn't win, but I still received this special mention. So my name was listed on their winning page. So I was pretty excited. So that's all thanks to you guys, because you had me creating this card and you inspired me to get this card out there for me to share. So the winner of this card actually is Noeline. So Noeline, yay! I'll be sending you this card in the mail tomorrow morning. Okay, so let's get to crafting because we have a big night tonight. I don't know if you remember last week I said we were going to make our own designer series paper. So here's a sample of just the little piece I made here. So we're going to create a similar card here, but we're not going to use the same colors. I decided to go with more, they're not pink and they're not purple. What are they? Reds? Purple reds. So Blackberry Bliss, Rich Razzleberry, and Fresh Freesia. Hi, Diane. Yes, it is going to be lovely. So that's what I like about testing new techniques and making my own designer series paper. I can create this color that I want specifically. So if I know, say, my aunt's birthday is coming up, actually I should have done that. Well, she's in September. I'll still have time to get it done. My aunt, her favorite color is blue. Well, I could use, I finally did, yay! I know, since it's kind of hard for me to get used to it. I'm thinking, oh yeah, it's Monday, I need to get on. And then tomorrow, like Tuesday night comes on, and I'm like, oh, I have something tonight. What is it? It's on my live. Oh yeah, softball. So yeah. Thanks, Diane. Hi, Josie. It's a new schedule to get used to. But you know what? I like it on the Monday night because that way it's, I feel like I have more time during the week that way to craft and get ready for more videos for you guys. Okay, so in the new mini catalog coming out in August, there is some craft paper, some 6x6 craft paper. So I have a sheet of that here, and we're going to try it out on some craft sheet. So I know gold goes pretty well with this color. So, and these purplish reds too, I think. So we're going to try it all together. I don't know how that's going to come out. I haven't tried it on this type of paper. I just tried it on that basic white cardstock. So we're gonna make a card and let's hope for the best. So what we'll need, you need your stamps, of course, you need your ink, and even though it is heat embossing, we won't need the Versamark, because usually you would think when you are heat embossing you use Versamark, but because the ink is wet and we're going to try to act really fast, we need to make sure that our ink is still wet when we sprinkle the powder on top of it, so that way the powder will stick to the ink, the wet ink, and then when we heat emboss it, it's going to give it that nice just a subtle look of gold on there. And then we need a dry brush too, just to remove the powder that we don't want. So you'll see and you'll notice how sometimes the powder sticks to the whole stamped image. Well, I don't want gold, like all of that gold. I just want some lines going through it. And because it is such, it's just a splatter of water, or what is it supposed to be, like watercoloring. So it's so forgiving and easy to make mistakes. And this paper technique will be all about making mistakes. It's going to be even prettier. The more mistakes you make, the prettier it will be. And of course we need our heat tool. So I think I got, and our powder. I didn't say my, but I keep my powders in these little Rubbermaid bins. What are they? They're just little plastic boxes. Anyways, details, I think you can figure that out. So let's get started. We are going to start with our lightest color. And oh, here's a little pumpkin peeking through. So my Fresh Freesia here is very juicy. So I am going to lightly stamp. Thank you, Diane. Containers. Yes, this is what they are. They're containers. So happy I have you guys. Okay, so I just removed a little bit of that ink, and that was too much. So let's turn it over. And we are going to go full force then. There we go. And just add all your color. So for this color here, because it is the lightest, I'm not going to add the embossing powder just yet. I'm going to keep it for my darkest colors. There. So once you're happy with, well, it's kind of hard to be happy with just that because it's not pretty yet. We are going to clean that off. Put that aside, and then I'm going to bring in my rich Razzleberry. Nope. Yes. Let's go for it. So rich Razzleberry. Ink that up. And then it's all about filling in the spots. And of course you're going to overlap, but that's okay because you can see that just on here, on this simple image here, there is some overlapping. There. So just keep going. And we're going to add one more here. And then this is where we're going to have to move quickly. Just going to close this up, clean it off, and we're going to go in with our Blackberry Bliss. I'm still going to use this image here. And I'm going to open up my powder because, like I said, we need to move fast. I don't want it to dry, the paper to absorb the ink. So I'm going to ink it up and figure out where I'm going. And as soon as I'll be done stamping, I'm going to go straight with my spoon and my powder here and put some powder on there. There we go. And quickly just powder it all on top there. Okay, so now can you see that there is, it feels like it's all over the stamped image, and even some of the powder stuck to this image here that we had stamped previously. So I'm just going to make sure that whatever needs to, I should have moved my ink pad. So now this is where we're going to take our brush and go remove all of that excess powder that we don't want. So I'm going to leave all those dark And like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect because it is like a watercoloring technique. So I'm just removing and I'm even going to remove what was stuck here. There. Okay, so I like that. I'm going to bring in my heat tool and get it started. Now that heats up, I'm going to close this here. Remove that just because I don't want powder to go flying into it. And I didn't clean it yet because I know I'm going to keep adding some of the image to my designer series paper here. We're going to see how pretty it's going to get. So I'm just warming up my paper here and warping it apparently. And continuously moving my heat tool because I don't want to burn my paper. And here it comes. There it goes. There. So lovely. Okay, so now I think you can see it, right? It is so cool. So of course we're gonna add more of that Blackberry Bliss because the gold pretty much like covered it all there, but can you see how just gorgeous that is? So let's keep going. So again, I'm gonna ink up my stamp, open up my container again. It's so cool, guys. You totally have to try it. And I'm going to go over here. Add some right there. So I went right over my Fresh Freesia. There. And again, let's go in. So my Blackberry Bliss is pretty juicy. So I think that's why the embossing powder sticks to this, like the whole stamped image. I tried with another color. I can't remember which, but it could be totally different, like for you guys, because depends on how much you use your stamp pad or how old it is, or if you just re-inked it. And you know what? Before I go heat dry that on, heat set it. Oh, it is so, it's even more fun when you try it yourself. Like, it's cool when I do it in front of you guys, but it's even just more exciting when you can do it yourself. So I'm going to stamp there, and I'm going to leave that one like that. I'm not going to add gold to it. Stamp here. Stamp there. Add more. There we go. So let's add some gold here. How about a little bit here? Then, how do I want this? Let's go. That. And actually, I'm just going to fill that in with that, like there. There we go. So I think I like that. I'm just going to add a little tiny bit of gold here. It's always easier to add your embossing powder and then remove it with your brush. So where do I want to remove here? There. And here I'm going to clean it up a little bit here too. So just removing, hi Pat, thanks. So I'm just leaving some like veins of gold. And because, like I said, how many times have I said it now? It's like a watercolor stamp. So it is very, very forgiving. So don't be shy. Try it out. Let me know what you think and how yours come out. Love seeing your creation. So send me a message. I want to see if you do try it out. I want to see what you made out of it. There. Okay, so I'm going to close this up. I think I am satisfied. Oh, I don't know. Go embossing, heat embossing your designer series paper. Good question, Watson. I haven't really searched it. It's just as soon as I saw this stamp set and I saw that the designer series paper, I'm like, huh, I could make that. So I didn't really search it on YouTube. I didn't do any much research. I was just hoping that I'd be the first one to test it out. But I saw other people doing it, but I didn't notice what they called it. So it's just, I don't know, good question. Adding gold to your designer series paper. Oh boy. I just love to when like the powder sets, it just comes to life. I'm like, oh, there was powder there. I didn't even know. There we go. Look at that, guys. We made our own designer series paper. Love it. Yeah, it just, there's like a hint, there's a marble to it because we didn't just stamp the image and added our powder to the image. We removed a bit of it with our dry brush. So that helps. Okay, so now I'm going to put this away and we are going to clean our stamp set finally. Aw, thanks. I'm so happy you like it. I was very excited to create this and share it with you all. I'm surprised I even kept it for the last video of the month. So now we can just use that and make whatever card we want. So I'm going to try to duplicate the first card I showed you with that designer series. So we're going to die cut one of those leaves. That comes with the artistic dies. There's that big leaf image there. So this is, it's like, as you can see, it covers the full front of the card. So it's an easy card to make. Just die cut one of those. And even if you would just do it like white on white, it just adds a texture to the card. It's perfect for a simple card. So I'm going to go get my mama machine. Roll her in. And we are going to grab a piece of that Blackberry Bliss cardstock. I'm pretty sure I have some scrap of that. Big enough right here. We're going to use that one. And let's die cut that out. So here's Mama Machine. Put our paper in there. And we make our sandwich. Crank it through. And I'm going to run it back because it is so detailed and there's so many pieces to pop out. I will run it twice through the machine. It's so delicate. Okay, so one is enough. Thank you. And our dies are here. We don't need this anymore. Okay, so let's pop all of those out. I don't have the brush. I need to get myself the brush that attaches to our take your pick tool here. So I could just roll it on there. Pop them all out. I just had an idea, but I don't think I have the patience and the time to create it. It would be so pretty to create like a wreath with this big leaf here. Like, I'm sure you could use that as a home decor. Make your own wreath. Bunch of these and like the greens. There's so many greens now. Evening evergreen, so soft succulent, garden green, mossy meadow, old olive, all these different tones of greens. It would be so pretty. A real piece of art for sure. Maybe I am going to do it. Who knows? I miss doing DIYs. I used to create my own like decorations, make my own everything. That was when I was like teenager at my parents' house. I didn't have anything else to do. So I've always been crafty, handy, DIYer. So that's probably why I see all these weird things, like putting embossing powder to my ink, stamped image. And voila, those little pieces. Thank you, goodbye. Confetti! Anybody need confetti? To throw at somebody? Anybody's birthday coming up? Garbage wanted some confetti, so gave it to her. So now, how about we make like this paper the whole cover of our card base? So, do I have a Blackberry Bliss card base? I do! Okay, so do we want to leave a border or make it the whole card base? Let's leave like just a hint of a border. Wait a minute. How about something like that? And then we'll put our sentiment right there. Okay, done. So, we are going to trim that down. Now don't cry, we can still use the other pieces. But yes, we are going to trim it down to 4, 5, 5 1/4. There. And instead of centering it on our card base like that, we are going to glue it down right in the bottom right corner. Like that. And then our leaf, which probably disappeared under my board. There it is. My trimmer. It plays tricks on me all the time. You know what? I feel like I want to cut it and make it look like it's just floating in on the side of the card. Like that. Ooh! I love it when it comes along like that. Okay, so let's glue down our paper. Comme ça. See? So we still have that background peeking through. And now for this one here. Okay. Should have used... How many times have I told you guys that yet? No. Should have used the adhesive sheets. So which one am I cutting off here? That one. So let's put just some little specks of glue. So very delicate. This is very relaxing card. Because it takes a lot of concentration. There. Satisfied. Let's put it on. And won't be able to move it much because the glue will set on our designer series paper. So let's bring in some blocks just to hold it down. So while that leaves, that sets, I'm just going to move it to the side here. Let's figure out what we'll do for our sentiment. So I was going for a happy birthday from the Enjoy the Moment. I love this happy birthday right there. But then again, we could, how about we just go black with gold embossing? Hi Linda! Oh no, don't worry. You probably missed the technique, so you'll want to go watch the video from the beginning where I show you how to make your own designer series paper. I didn't put a lot. We'll check when I take off the blocks if the glue did seep through. Sometimes if I don't put too much, it's good. Like I don't see it I know what you mean. Sometimes we can see the glue maybe a little bit there, but we can barely see it. So that's all about just a very fine pressure when I'm applying my glue. I'm barely squeezing it out, so there's just a little tiny drop on behind there. So let's bring in a scrap. Would that be too much? No, we're gonna go just on black. That's what I said, right? Gold on black, not Blackberry Bliss. Okay, so let's bring in, didn't I stamp a few of those once? I'm pretty sure I did. I have some happy birthdays in here, guys. Maybe. Okay, so black it is. Happy birthday it is. And my block, for this time we're going to use some Versamark though, because I'm not going to watch. I'm reading the comments as I am stamping. I'm not going to ink it up with like the ink. This time I really want to make sure that everything, all of the powder sticks to the sentiment. So let's see how straight that is. Pretty good, pretty good. Let's sprinkle some powder on there. Oh, I didn't even use my embossing buddy. Probably should have used it, but it looks good. Let's close this up. Now, because that's a tiny piece and I don't want to burn my fingers, I'm going to bring in some tweezers and hold that down. That way it will burn my fingers, it will burn the tweezers. Going to bring it closer so you can see it change. The magic of heat embossing. There it goes. So cool, right? Still hot, so I don't want to touch it with my fingers just yet. Let's clean that off. Boop, 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 boop. And no, the embossing buddy is not available. Hi Chantal! The embossing buddy is not available anymore, sadly. But you can use, this is what I've seen and what I've heard, you can use used dryer sheet, so une feuille de bounce là, usée, or you can use what is it that they've been using? C'est du cornstarch? Yeah, I think it's like a little bit of cornstarch. That was the other thing that I have seen and heard people using. I think Stampin' Up removed it because it wasn't I assume it wasn't a top seller or best seller, because pretty much anybody who bought the heat tool but like they're not going to remove the heat tool, so why would they remove the embossing buddy? Anyways, that was my theory behind it. That's probably because nobody was buying the embossing buddy anymore because they already owned it. Just like they removed the individual blends, now they sell it in a combo. That's it. But it's the third year I think the blends are out. So when they first came out, everybody bought like the two colors. So of course we wanted the combos. But now that we have our collection and we only use a certain color more than another, sometimes we don't need the dark or the light of that certain color. So I don't know. I think that's just my theory. My thinking behind it. Okay, so now that I'm going to show you, I think it's Tian who was asking if the glue would seep through. I don't see anything. But like I said, I put really small dots of glue. I was very gentle and delicate on the glue. So now we can trim that off. I was actually hoping to, well, let's just trim it. Go for it. I'm just going to take my scissors because there's a little bit peeking off here that doesn't need to be there. And now this one feels like it's not really glued on securely, so I'm just going to add that little spot and a very light spot again. Oh, that's too much. That's too much. So this here is going to be seeping through, but the nice part of that liquid glue, it dries. It doesn't dry glossy, so there you go. Now I feel a little bit more secure that it's going to stay on. Now I just need to figure out where I want my happy birthday and how I want it. So it's going to go in dimensionals, of course. But I like that extra black on that side there. We have some baker's twine here, some black one. And I'm going to try and make a little nest behind there. Just to add some texture and some dimension to all that. There we go. Oh yes, good walk, Shanta. I'm happy you went for a walk. It's so nice outside tonight too. It's definitely worth watching the replay. I agree. If anybody else is on here and agrees with that. So we're just going to, how about we glue that down there? So I'm going to take my seal and add some. Oh, we could actually hide it from behind there. Okay, then that's going to change the way I want to make my nest here. Just go like that, and then create like an 8. That's how I do it, and then just go bloop, 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 bloop. That's gonna go on some dimensionals right here. Just trying to pay attention where the dimensionals will go compared to the baker's twine, because I don't want it to be too thick. And let's line that up with the side of our card here. Ta-dam! Ooh, it's coming along pretty cute. Let's close this up, put it away, try to pick up as you go, right? And now, what's left? The envelope, of course. Do we go white? There's no white on there. Probably should go with berry vanilla because of the Kraft cardstock, right? And it's a dark color, so. Now, do we need some gold on there? We have the gilded gems that are very pretty. Or do we go with the black dots? Do we need bling? The designer series paper has that bling to it. So maybe we should leave it like that. What do you guys think? Gems or no gems? While I do the envelope, you guys tell me. So I'm taking Blackberry Bliss. And I'm going to, yep, do it like that. And add some gold powder. We're going to heat emboss our envelope. No gems. Thanks, Sue. I I agree, but sometimes you're just questioning it. Like, should I even try it? Is it worth it? And then you add it on, you're like, ah, yeah, I'm happy I tried it. Gems, okay, so let's see. Whoever votes next, let's see what you guys say. So let's remove. No gems, no gems. Okay, one last time with the heat tool here. I apologize. I hope it kind of mutes it when I'm doing the heat tool. You guys don't hear all of that, so let's heat it up. There he goes. Yeah. I like it. I like how it adds that surprise to where the gold powder is, and then sometimes you just see it come to life. So pretty. So there's our envelope, and there's our pretty card. You guys, we made another pretty card with this artistically inked stamp set. Ooh la la. I'm happy you like it, Zian. Yes, it does feel like a ooh la la card. So there's the card we made together, and this was the inspiration. Well, of course, the inspiration was from the designer series paper itself, the Artistically Inked. Is that the DSP? Is that what it's called? I have my catalog here. Marika. Use the proper names. Designer series paper. Right at the end here. Expressions in Ink. That's what it's called. The Expressions in Ink designer series paper inspired me to try my own version of the DSP using just the stamp set and some gold. Of course, we could try it with silver or copper or even black. Like, I'd be curious to try it with a black, so like a black and a Halloween card. Ooh, let's try a Halloween card. I'll try to do a card with those colors this week and share it on my page. Okay, so thank you again so much for staying on with me this whole time. And I hope you enjoyed. I hope you try it. If you do, please send me a picture of your card. I love to see your creations. You guys inspire me, and I am always surprised by how much talent you all have. I shouldn't say I'm surprised, but I'm just happy to see that you all have the same talent as I do. I really do feel like that. So thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed. See you all next week. Bye, guys. Oh, wait. Which stamp set are we playing with next week? Because we're starting a new month. I don't think I decided yet. Well, it'll be a surprise. So, see you all next week with a surprise new stamp set. Bye, guys.